Looking for that elusive winning season and bowl appearance in Lincoln. Let's talk Huskers here at the Voice of College Football. We got Connor Hayden on the line from Corn Crazed.
Hey, Mark, thanks for having me.
Absolutely. Good to see you. Good to have you here. I see the red tint in the background, that Nebraska feel, looking good with the block N on the chest, all ready for spring ball.
Over here, it's football season all year round. I'm always hyped, always thinking about it, so it's just the way I roll.
What do you think, Connor, is going to give you good indication as to whether this spring has accomplished much? What do you want to hear out of this football team over the next 6 weeks that it's going to make you feel better about moving forward to 2023?
I'm not sure that there's anything I can hear from them to get excited. I think it's more so understanding that when we listen to these press conferences that we're going to hear, I think we're going to get coach access half the time through the spring. So we're going to get to hear from all the coaches. We're going to get to hear from a bunch of the players. If we hear positive vibrations, I guess you can say, about what the culture's feeling like and how guys are working, then that'll give me confidence that they're on the right track. But there's nothing that I can say is going to make me think, oh, this is a team who can win 7 games just from what they talk about, right? There's a lot that we've got to see proven on the field, because in the past, we've gotten excited about all the hype and all the speculation that we as fans usually come up with ourselves and are fed by the media and by some of the coaches' comments and players' comments and the pressers. But yeah, it's going to be more so what we see on the field that's going to get me to believe in this team going forward. So I just want to see that there's positivity and that the vibes are right with the team out of spring ball.
In a sense, Connor, it's a bit odd that for a team that has not reached postseason play or had a winning record, that you would think that there would be a quarterback battle every year, because you typically put together quarterback stability and excellence. And if there's not a quarterback battle, that means there's a number one guy in there. That particular team and program's all set in that position, and usually it's a successful situation. But we really haven't had a quarterback battle in this program for quite some time, because once Adrian Martinez locked down the position, he owned it. And then Casey Thompson came in as the transfer. He was the obvious starter last year. But for the first time in a long time, we've got some drama at quarterback. And how do you see that possibly playing out, and what's going to give you indication as to who's in the lead?
Well, I was listening to Sean Callahan from Husker Online talk on his podcast the other day, and he had mentioned that Matt Rule talked about in the presser, he doesn't know what Casey's doing outside of what they're doing at Nebraska, right? With a private trainer or coach on the side. And that's probably not true, like Sean said. They've got Casey on a regimen, and they have him on some sort of plan to get him back to compete for that starting job, because as we all know, he's not hurt. He's coming off of a surgery where he was hurt last year with that shoulder. And he's going to have to try and beat out Jeff Sims, who has a lot of starting experience himself. So I think Nebraska's in a position where they have 2 really good quarterbacks. It's hard to say what the ceiling is for either of them. Are they top 5 in the Big Ten next year? Because that's what I would probably say they're going to be. Or since this is a new offense and they're going to have to adjust to all these new players, are they somewhere a little bit down the path, closer to 7 or 8? It's all kind of up in the air at this point. I think what's going to happen is Nebraska's going to get Jeff Sims in there, get accommodated with some of these new guys who Casey already has some relationships with. When Jeff comes out in summer ball, he's going to be faced with a new challenge with Casey, who obviously has a lot of experience playing at Nebraska, but has no experience playing for Satterfield or Matt Rule. And there's going to be a lot to work out once they've got that, I guess, 1.5 months together before their first game. So I don't know how it's going to shake out. I have my obviously ideas, which I'm still formulating for who I don't want to say is more deserving of the job, but who possesses a skill set that's going to fit this offense better. And we're just going to have to see how it goes once Casey's actually back in the fold come, I would say, July.
We had a conversation with Zach Smith, the former Ohio State assistant coach, and he said that based on his contacts with those coaches that he knows in the coaching circles that have worked for Jeff Sims, he said, expect a lot out of Jeff Sims. Don't be surprised if he wins this job and turns out to be a really good Big Ten quarterback.
So that was my initial thought when he had first transferred in. I had said, I made some bold claims. I said, that's Casey's job is no longer Casey's job to lose. It's Jeff's to win, because Jeff's the guy who came in as the hand-picked quarterback by Satterfield and Rule. He already has a skill set that they like. Nebraska's going to try to run the ball a little bit more. Casey possesses that same skill set, but he's not as big of a body. He has gone through some things with this last staff that I would say limited him in showing us what his true potential is as a runner. And because of that, it makes me automatically gear towards, well, Jeff Sims is obviously the better fit. All of that being said, I don't want to take anything away from Casey because of how well he performed last year. And he was a good quarterback at Texas. He has a lot of potential. So even though most of us, including guys like Zach Smith and experts, people who are close to the program, are going to say Jeff Sims is the likely guy who's going to win the job, Casey did a lot of positive last year at Nebraska, especially considering his situation with the injury. And I don't want to write him off just yet.